afternoon. It's a beautiful day in New York. Hopefully it's a beautiful day where you are as well. I'm going to wait 1 or 2 more minutes just to see who else we can get on the call. I had heard from a few people that they might be late, but we know of 1 or 2 who might not be making it. Who's on the 480 phone?
That's Kim. That's
Hi, Kim.
Kim. Hi.
Glad to have you with us.
I'm so happy to be here.
Thanks.
She's always.
My coworker just brought me a.
What was that?
My coworker just brought me a massage chair to put in my chair, so I'm getting massaged.
Ooh. It's a good way to take care of yourself. I think we need that too.
I know.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, I think we're good as far as our attendance. Who is 407? There's somebody on a phone that's just 407? Maybe they can't hear me yet. Okay, so I feel like in Romper Room when they looked through the mirror and they said, I see David and I see Ivy and I see, or am I, you're not too old, too young to know that, right? I know that. Okay, good. All right, so JCC, LTI, Field Advisors, welcome to the program. I am very excited that you guys are all here and that we're able to do this sort of brief webinar explaining the program to you and thanking you for being part of it. And getting you started with this part of the program. I see that we have quite a lovely group. I'm going to give you a chance to introduce yourselves in a minute. Thank you for taking the time to do this. This is really great that you are advanced leaders in the JCC field. We value your time and we value your expertise and your knowledge. Not everybody, this wasn't an open cast call. It wasn't something that we just put out an email there and said, hey, who wants to be in? We carefully chose people to be the field advisors for this program, so thank you. We're going to start by letting you, maybe advance my few slides, letting you tell us who you are. Real quick, we're just going to go down the list. Ellen will unmute you. I think she's got everybody muted from the master here. So she's going to unmute you, call on you. Just tell us your name, your JCC, your job title. We have a mixture of COOs and assistant executive directors and some executive directors as well. So tell us if you're a COO or an executive director and how many years you've been in the field. And the other thing that I put up here is if you have been in a cohort of learning, any of the kinds of JCC Association learning cohorts that we've run. So let's just start at the top there. Ellen, why don't you just call out some names as we go down the list?
Okay. All right. David Stone, why don't you go first?
I would love to go first. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
My name is David Stone. I am the Executive Director of the JCC of Greater Ann Arbor. I have been in the field for 25 years-ish, but who's counting? And on the last item, it's not applicable to me, but I'm thrilled to be part.
Thank you, David.
How about Matt Gerber?
Hi. So my name is Matt Abrams Gerber. I'm currently at the Riverdale Y. I'm the COO here. And I've been in the field upwards of like 10 plus years at both at different JCCs and also at JCC Association.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, cut him off. Okay, next, how about Orly? Orly, you are unmuted, or you should be.
I'm going to try to dial into your phone because well, but I'm just going to introduce myself. My name is Orly Lewis, and I'm the COO of the Weinstein. And I've been with the JCC for about 20 years. And I was in the MMTP group, which I have the book until today, and I'll refer to a lot of the training that we've done many years ago together.
Great.
Great. Let's do Dan.
Hello, everybody. Dan Kardonic, Jewish Community Center of Scranton, Pennsylvania. Been here 8 years in the JCC field, 20 years in Jewish communal service. No cohorts, other than, going to executive leadership seminar for several years in a small size JCC cohort. So,
Okay,
Great.
Thank you. And how about Peter Blair? Oh, hold on.
Oh, did I get that? I got that. Peter Blair, I am the CEO of the Sandra and Leon Levine Jewish Community Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. I have been here in this position just shy of 3 years, but I'm in my 21st year working for JCCs. I've worked for 4 JCCs around the country. While I wasn't in a cohort learning program designed and delivered by JCC Association, I did start a nonprofit organization called the Paradigm Project, which was entirely cohort learning based. We were delivering professional development programs for Jewish early childhood educators. So I've been involved in the design, the implementation, and the delivery of lots of cohort-based learning.
Thanks.
How about Ivy?
Hi, everybody. I'm Ivy Harlev. I'm the executive director here at the Siegel JCC in Delaware. I've been the executive director for 11 and a half years. June will be 20 years at this JCC. So I've been in the JCC field probably 24 years or so. I was in EDTP, Executive Director Training Program 7, which was the last one that was held. We graduated in June, I think, of 05. So it's been a while. And I'm thrilled to be part of this group. And it's so nice to see everybody.
Wonderful. Sue. Okay. Can't hear you. You try again?
You want for Kim? For Kim?
No, we're trying to get Sue. We can't.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
All right. Well, now I'm not going to stop talking. Sue Galsey, I'm the Chief Operating Officer at the Kaplan JCC on the Palisades in Tenafly, New Jersey. I have been at this JCC since 1992, so that is 26 years, I think, if I did the math right. I took a 5-year hiatus a few years ago, and I worked with MediFit Community Services, where I worked with several JCCs. And I've been in this role almost 3 years since I've been back, and 8 years before I left, and I did a variety of other things before that. I was never in any of these JCCA programs, but I'm proud to be part of the Mandel Executive Leadership Fellowship that's going on right now.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sue. We'll be tapping into you for some information about that program as well.
I'll tell you all the state secrets.
Okay.
Sally.
Hi, everybody. I am the COO at the Oshman Family.
Sally, can you talk up just a little bit? I don't think we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit louder.
Okay, can you hear me now? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm Sally Flintbaugh, the COO at the Oshman Family JCC in Palo Alto. I have been here coming up on 4 years. And prior to this, I was the executive director at the JCC of the East Bay in Berkeley for a little more than 5 years. And I have not been in one of the cohort learning programs.
Thank you.
Thanks. Let's see. Mike Goldstein, I don't think you've gone yet.
Hey, folks. So I'm Mike Goldstein. I'm the COO at the JCC of Central New Jersey in lovely Scotch Plains, New Jersey. I've been in the field 14 years, all of which with the JCC of Central New Jersey. I was in the second and final cohort of MMTP 10 years ago, Joy. Can you believe it?
No.
And yeah, and I'm just want to say I'm honored to be part of such an esteemed group. Thanks for asking.
Thanks, Mike.
Robbie, can you, wherever Robbie is, I can't hear you.
Robbie, you there?
Okay. I'm going to move on. We're going to unmute 480. Who's that?
Kim.
That's Kim. That's me.
Okay. Hey, Kim.
Hi, this is Kim Subrin. I am currently the COO at the Valley of the Sun JCC in Scottsdale. I started back in the late 90s in Mayor Kaplan JCC, and then I moved and I was here at the J for 8 years. I left and was an early childhood director in the community, and now I'm back 2 years as the COO. And I was part of the third cohort of the Marin Teen Fellows back in 2001.
Thank you. Okay. I see a 713 number.
Yeah, Joel Dinkin.
Okay, Joel, can you introduce yourself?
Joel Dinkin, the Executive Vice President of the JCC in Houston.
Great.
Thank you.
And a 407 number?
That's me. That's Robbie. I think you called on me earlier and I got disconnected. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Please introduce yourself, if your name, where you work, if you are in any cohort learning with JCC Association.
Sure. So Robbie Etzkin, Executive Director of the Roth Family JCC of Greater Orlando. I've been in the field since 2004 when I got my career started at the Weinstein JCC in Richmond, Virginia. I've also worked at the JCC in Austin, Texas. And I was part of the Middle Management Training Program version 2, which I cannot believe was 10 years ago.
Great. Did I miss anyone? Oh, Eliza.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm Eliza Milliman. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at JCC Rockland. I have been in the field for about, I would say, 18 years. My first 14 years was at JCC Metro West. I was in also the second version of MMTP 10 years ago. I'm also a JCCA scholarship recipient from a very long time ago.
Great. Did I miss anybody?
You're missing Mark.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi there, everyone. Mark Jacob at the JCC in Northern Virginia. Has been in the field for about 24 years full time, and was part of the very first Marin Teen Fellows program. I can't even work out how many years ago that was. But honored to be here amongst this group.
Thank you. And I think the last person that we haven't called on yet is Sally.
No, you got me. I spoke earlier.
We got Sally.
Okay. Then I think we went through everybody. Okay, terrific. Well, thank you, everybody. I want to tell you who's in the cohort as far as the faculty here at JCC Association, and we are partnering in this program with our esteemed colleagues from the Jewish Theological Seminary. And so I'm going to ask Mark to unmute himself or to be unmuted and tell us a little bit about him and JTS and his program there.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Mark Young. I am the Managing Director of the Leadership Commons, which is a part of the Davidson Graduate School of Jewish Education. And the Leadership Commons, in part, helps run these leadership institutes to train Jewish educational leaders throughout the field of Jewish education and Jewish life. So we're excited to continue our partnership with JCC Association. Joy, David, myself, and my colleague Jeff Kress helped launch Jelly for 2 cohorts earlier this decade, and we're excited to continue our work with you and all of you with JCC LTI. And joining on our team, Beth Garfinkel-Hancock will introduce herself as well. Just to share a little more, I'm very much connected to the JCC movement, having worked at the Mandel JCC of Cleveland for many years and at the 92nd Street Y for many years. And what we hope to bring to the table in all of our work with you is how we think about leadership through a Jewish lens, through learning through Jewish content that will help inform how folks can be leaders and effective managers in the field of JCCs. And I'm very happy that we have all of you to be guides for our fantastic fellows who you'll get to meet over the next year.
Yeah, you don't have volume control.
Joy or Ellen, back over to you.
Yeah, the only way is minimize it.
Okay. Sorry, I'm having audio problems here, so I was just trying to get that better. And we also have Beth Hancock, who is a program manager for the JTS program. And Beth, are you on the line? Can we get you to unmute yourself so you can tell us a little bit about you?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I know so many of you. It's so nice to see you. I am one of the program managers, along with Ellen, on this exciting JCC LTI journey. And I'm looking forward to meeting all of you in person, but thank you again so much for the rich mentoring you'll be doing for our cohort. They're so hungry and so excited to be part of this program that we're really just very grateful for this piece of it, because we can't be everything and everywhere to them. So thank you.
Okay, hi. My name is Ellen Gettinger. I am the Professional Development Coordinator here at JCC Association, and I get the pleasure of working with Joy every day on all our different cohort learning programs that some of you have been part of. I run our scholarship program, and I'm also one of the program managers for LTI. I'm really excited to get to work with all of you, meet you. Hopefully I'll see some of you at Biennial. Really excited about that. And that's about it for me. It looks like Joy might be having some technical difficulties. Oh, okay. I think she's back.
The wonderful Bernardo makes it happen again. Thank you, sir. Okay. My goodness. Technology. Isn't it lovely? Okay. So thank you, everybody, for introducing yourselves. This program came about by a friendship and a relationship that we've developed with the JTS folks, as well as the need from the field for developing advancing leaders in the JCC field. And we felt that we already do something with the Marantin Fellows, and we do something on the higher level with Kibunim and executive leadership and things like that. And as you heard from some of the people in the program on the list, that we had something that was called the Middle Management Training Program. Can't believe it's 10 years ago. And there's been this cry for more advancing leadership growth. And what we're finding is, certainly with the aging of our executive directors and the baby boomers who will be retiring in the next 5 to 10 years, there will be a number of executive positions that will be opening, which will mean that a number of our COO and assistant executive directors will be moving up, and then we won't have people in the pipeline to take those places. So we decided to run this kind of a program. And we're really very fortunate to be able to offer it. We had 42 applicants, which just right there says a lot about the field and what the field is needing. We wound up taking 21 participants. And in doing that, we developed this program. It's an 18-month program, 21 JCC professionals from 21 different JCCs. They come from a variety of departments. They're all directors of their departments, but there's such a wide variety. We're finding that people are not just rising up through the field the way that many of us did, either sports and fitness side of things or early childhood, camping, youth side of things, but they're coming from all areas. So it's really nice that we have this wide variety of departments. And we also have a wide variety of ages and experiences. So we have some people who are in their 30s. We have some people in the program who are in their 50s. And it's really an interesting way to mix everybody's experiences and backgrounds and knowledge into this advancing program. They've all been nominated by their JCCs. Some of you actually have people in the program at your JCC. And it's our goal to give them the tools to help them advance in the program and advance in the field. And part of that is this Field Advisor program. We started in December with a webinar. We had a January webinar, and we've met in person earlier this month. Actually, Kim was hosting us in Scottsdale. And we had a wonderful week together, really learning, diving in, networking, getting to know each other, and building on our core focuses of the program. So here's a snapshot of what the program is. It focuses on key concepts and skills that are critical to leadership and management of the Jewish community centers. We include core management and operational principles, a shared language, understanding Jewish knowledge and values and ethics, and bringing that into the big picture of leadership at a Jewish community center. And we're really challenging them to be inspirational and innovative leaders, because what happened in the last 10 years won't be good enough in the next 10 years as we embark on leadership and JCCs and what that looks like. So we're challenging them to think differently. And we have these 5 themes. We call them buckets. Imagination, which is understanding the vision and mission, the big picture of JCCs and how that might change. Communication, really working on both their communication styles and how they communicate with their own departments right now and how they will then communicate on a broader picture. It takes into consideration personal presence and speaking styles and public speaking and things like that, and understanding how they can share out ideas. Collaboration, really thinking about teams, their own teams. How do they partner within their JCC? How do they partner within the community? And what does all of that mean? Innovation, really understanding and making change happen, but in a successful way, not just change for change's sake. And how do we be innovative in thinking about how we can make change happen and be strong within our community? And then it's all grounded in leadership and understanding how we move ideas and people through our leadership. So the piece that you're involved in is the Field Advisor piece. And the Field Advisor piece is a very important piece that will help round out the learning, as well as give people an option of somebody to talk with. And these are, it's a list of different ways that we can sort of talk about being a field advisor. We're not calling you mentors. In many cases, a mentorship is a much deeper dive in and commitment into working one-on-one with somebody. But as a field advisor, you're all seasoned professionals with advanced skills. You're their senior level colleague, career counselor in some cases, a role model, somebody that they can talk to about something that they have a question about, something that's irking them. It's really someone to turn to share ideas and reach out to if the need arises. And maybe it's just somebody that they float an idea past for a project or a program to get some inside tips on how things had happened before. Certainly as a sounding board and as a coach to help them navigate the field of JCC. What we're finding is many of the people in the JCC LTI program are really good at their department level, but they've told us that they need to understand the big picture as they advance their careers. And so you all have a good understanding of what that big picture is, and many of them will be working on that. So here's what a field advisor is not. It's not a person who intervenes in JCC politics. This is going to be a very interesting challenge for some people because JCC Field is one big giant family. And so many of you may know the supervisor or the executive director of the person who will be your Merit Fellow. And it's not for you to be speaking with their executive director or their supervisor about something that you hear or learn about their JCC. It's somebody that you can talk things through with and suggest how they might handle a situation that they come to you with. Often we want to fix things. That's not our role. Our role is there to be as an advisor, as somebody that they can speak with, and someone who we can help, who can help them sort of tease out the answers. It's not, you're not somebody who will counsel the fellow out of the JCC field. Sometimes somebody's going to come to you and say, I just can't take it anymore. What should I do next? That's not your role to counsel them out of the field. Certainly, I think we've all been there at some point in our 20 plus years of working in JCCs. We get it. And that's why you're here, to help them understand that you all get it, and that there's those good days and there's those challenging days, and how you can be helpful to them. And it's not to take sides. Sometimes you will be faced with your fellow telling you a situation that's happening at their JCC that you're going to say, I can't believe this is happening. I would have never guessed that that was going to be happening at that JCC. It's not for you to take sides. It's for you to talk them through and help them come up with some kind of a solution to whatever their challenge is. So having said that, we really need to keep the confidential conversations. We need to make sure that we're not sharing information. Some of you have people in the program who either you supervise or are from your JCC. So we don't want you sharing what you've just talked to your fellow about with another person in the program. And certainly not to go to their supervisors or something like that, or to gossip about it. When we make the matches of you and a JCC LTI fellow, we're going to ask you, I'm going to ask you now, let me know if there's anyone, I'll send you a list, but let me know if there's anyone you think you should not be matched with. Maybe it's somebody that you're related to. Maybe it's somebody that you worked with before. Certainly, those of you who have a fellow in the program right now will not be matched with that person from your JCC. But maybe there's a JCC that you worked at before and you have some inside information and you just don't want to be matched with that fellow. We're going to take all of that into consideration because we want this to be successful and we want everybody to get the most out of the program. So we use field advisors for a variety of reasons. Certainly the wisdom that you have over your many years of experience. As I said before, to help provide insight into the bigger JCC world and Jewish communal world. We're hoping that through your leadership and through this program, each one of the fellows will be able to get the bigger picture of not just how your JCC works, but the Jewish communal work and how the J fits into that as well. Sometimes we feel isolated, even though we work in large organizations. You don't have anybody to talk to that you can trust. And that's one of the reasons we've found that advisors have worked the best, because it's this outside person that somebody can speak with. It's sharing ideas and knowledge. I'm just curious if any of you have ever had an advisor that you've used if you want to. Okay, Peter, Ellen, could you unmute Peter, please? Can you tell us just as soon as you're unmuted? Here we go. Okay, Peter.
Yeah, I mean, I still use them right now. I call Dan Bernstein and Mark Shapiro all the time on a regular basis. They're two CEOs that I worked for or worked with, and I call for advice. I talked to Mark yesterday about something. It was a 7-minute phone call, but very much. So I've benefited from that. It's one of the reasons why I agreed to do the program that you're doing right now.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that, Peter. You know, as I said before, the JCC field is such a small field, but we're a big family. And the more that we can get, especially rising leaders, to have that feeling of somebody that they can reach out to and talk to beyond the faculty of the program, that's all of you guys. And hopefully we'll be able to do that. It helps ground people in the field, and it helps keep them. And that's one of our really big goals. I want to help you build relationships. It's a two-way street. We find that you can learn as a field advisor, you can learn a lot or as much as you give. The field advisor program is based on monthly check-in calls, so that we ask you to be available to the fellow on a once-a-month basis. And certainly if you are open to it, as we heard, on a as needed basis as well, but we don't want these people to monopolize your time as well. But let the fellows set the agenda and you work on a mutually agreed upon time. We've found that some people work really well saying it's the first Tuesday of the month at 2 o'clock, and some people just shoot an email the week before and say, hey, can we chat next week? So that's between you and the fellow that you'll be paired with. It works best, I think, if you keep notes of your conversation so you can refer back to it. Hey, how did that program work that you and I talked through last month? Or how are you dealing with that difficult situation that you were working on, so that you know what's going on? And then in between, it's a nice thing to just shoot an email and say, hey, hi, how are things going? It's really all about building that relationship. I want to also make sure that you help establish the boundaries right from the start, put it out there, how you'll deal with delicate situations. And then certainly ensuring the confidentiality and keeping secrets if that becomes part of your conversations. Oops. At the same time, it's okay to tell somebody that maybe the way that they're thinking isn't right, and maybe you could help them think through something else. So consistency and fairness is very important. Managing your own emotions sometimes is very important. And we talked about the confidentiality versus transparency. So you want to make sure that they know that you're being confidential and not reporting anything out or up. But at the same time, dive into some heavy questions and push a little bit hard and ask them difficult scenarios and questions. So it makes them think through whatever it is you guys are talking about so that they can grow from the experience as well. Some past advisors and mentors in some of our programs have struggled with this. If there's anything that you feel needs to be reported out, reach out to me privately. And we can talk about it. Certainly, I don't want you to break any kind of confidentiality, but if you and your fellow agree and you want to reach out to me about a situation, or they want to reach out to me about a situation, absolutely, that's encouraged, okay? We want you to make sure that you listen as much as you speak. I think oftentimes in the roles that we play in JCCs, we want to have all the answers. We want to be the fixers. And in this kind of a situation, we want you to help them by talking things through and not giving the answers. Certainly you can rely on your past experiences, but help them help themselves through situations and through problems that they might be coming up with. We're going to be sending you a sheet of questions that are used in many coaching courses that'll help you with open-ended questions, and you'll be able to not necessarily read down the sheet of every question, but skim through some of them and see what some of them are, because they're very helpful thought starters in helping somebody think something through where they may be stuck. So here are some situations where you might run into conflict resolution, having a difficult conversation with a staff person, some kind of career counseling. We find that people in department heads really are dealing with a lot of managing up and managing down, and how do they navigate that. And this group is especially interested in elevating their professional presence. Now that they're in this prestigious program, we want to make sure that they're getting the recognition that they deserve, as well as the coaching from you on how to make that kind of thing happen. They all want to understand the big picture of the JCC and how they're beyond their departments. And for those of you who have someone in the fellowship program, this is a really great list to work on with them, to either pass along to their supervisors, or if you're their supervisor, it's a good list for them to work on with you as well. Excuse me. As we model leadership, share your experiences, encourage and give feedback, and manage those emotions. So we talked about monthly calls. We talked about following up and continued communication. We're going to send you sort of like a check-in report that you'll fill out in July after you've had a number of months to be able to develop that relationship with your fellow. We're going to have another field advisor webinar in September. We'll send out the dates for that, when that is going to be. And the other thing is that we asked you to fill out a survey. I think almost everybody did. Thank you for filling that out, of things that you felt that you were an expert in. This not only helps us in matching you with your fellow, but it is also giving us a list that we're going to be able to give out to all of the JCC LTI fellows, so that if there are questions that come up, let's say somebody's dealing with a committee issue or a governance issue or something like that, and you've identified yourself as an expert in that area, they may give you a call just to chat about what is going on and to get your feedback on how to handle that. So moving forward, what you'll get from us is an email with a list of all the fellows, and then you can report back to me if there's anyone that you feel you should not be paired with. You'll get a list of what we're learning, as well as when we have a webinar or when they have a homework assignment or something like that, we'll report that to you so that you know what they've been working on. When possible, we'll invite you to participate in some of the webinars so you can learn alongside of them and understand what some of the learning is. And for those of you who will be at the biennial, some of them, of the JCC LTI fellows, will be at the biennial. So I'll let you know if your paired fellow is going to be there, and certainly you can find out from them as well. So that sort of gives you the big picture overview of JCC LTI and the Field Advisor Program. I want to find out if you have any questions about the program in general, or if you have any ideas or suggestions or anything at all. If you do, I think you can sort of either wave at us or I don't see anybody waving their hands. Sue's waving her hand. Will you just waving back at me? Ellen, can you unmute Sue? I can't hear her.
I'm trying to, but I don't know. Sue, are you also connected via phone number?
Oh, here, how about I unmute my phone?
There you go.
Now we hear you.
Oh, that's embarrassing. All right. It's very simple, Joy. I just wanted to see if you could attach this slide deck to the email you send out.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
I also have a
Mark had a question. Let's see.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so just two quick questions. One, I'm assuming that all executive directors had to sign off on the employee being in the cohort.
I have spoken to every executive director of everybody in the cohort. Yes.
Okay, great. And then the second question, it's an 18-month program. Obviously, not everybody's going to move into management role or an executive director role after 18 months. What is the hope and the plan at the end of the program?
The goal of the program is to give them the skills to advance. Now, that's a really loose definition. We hope that we will find that people that come out of this program will advance to COO and possibly executive director. They did not have to sign anything that said, I promise to be a COO or an assistant exec or an exec in the future. They didn't have to sign anything that said that they were willing to move to advance. But we heard from a number of people who are the field advisors that they've moved and they've advanced and they were in programs before, and as well, people who have stayed in the state JCC and advanced. So it's our goal to give them the skills to help them advance whatever that means within the JCC field.
Great, thanks.
Anybody else?
Hey, it's Orly.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Orly, you on?
Orly, you're unmuted.
Did. Okay, well.
Orly, I think you're breaking up. I can't really hear you.
Maybe put your question in the chat box, since we can't really hear you.
Well, Orly's typing in her question down in the chat box. We can unmute Peter. I saw your hand up.
Okay, you're unmuted, Peter.
When will the first call be scheduled? When will we be notified of who our person is? Sorry if I missed that, but sort of timeline.
We will be making the matches and informing the fellows in the next 2 weeks of who their field advisor is, and then it'll be their responsibility to reach out to you. We'll obviously give you their contact information as well, but it'll be their responsibility to reach out to you and make that first point of contact.
Okay, and it'll be one to one. We'll just get one. They'll get one.
You know, we have 15 or so field advisors, and we have 21 fellows. So certainly, if you do not want 2 field fellows, let me know. But some people will have 2.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Okay, Orly's question was basically just answered. She asked, do we wait to call till they call us, or do we contact them? So that Joy just answered that.
Okay. Anybody else? Beth, is your hand up, or are you? No? Well, I really appreciate everybody spending the time with us this afternoon, as well as the future time that you'll be giving to this program and to the fellows that you'll be matched with. It's really a wonderful thing that you want to be able to be involved in the program. Thank you very much for doing this. If you have any questions at all, my contact information, I'm sure you all have it, but it's here up on the screen in case you need to reach me. And the JCC LTI faculty team thanks you, and we will be in touch with you shortly. Thanks so much. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.